All right. Welcome to Meet the Community. we got Ricky here. We got a
Hey,
little we got a little viral video he went on.
yep,
Dude, all
so
right.
funny, man.
If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, anything you want us to know about you, just where you're from, where you're at, whatever you want to tell us,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah, cool. My name is Ricky. On Instagram, I go by Dama, which is a Thai nickname. I'm 27 years old, and I'm originally from Liverpool in the UK, but for the past 2.5 years, I've been living out here in Bangkok, Thailand.
Dope. Very
Yeah.
cool. Cool. All right. How long you been playing kendama, or like when did you start?
Um, Overall, with including like without including breaks and things like that in between, around 4 years, 4 or 5 years, something like that.
4 or 5 years. Dope.
And
Cool.
it's I probably started playing properly like around COVID era.
Okay, yeah, same. Yeah, it was 2020 for me, dude.
Yeah, I feel like that was the same for a lot of people. Like
For sure, for sure. Because I think,
big wave.
yeah, well, and I was gonna say it's like you're stuck at home, you have nothing to do. You're like, oh, this little $25 toy. Like, yeah, why not? Fuck it. You're like, let's
Yeah,
get one.
yeah,
Dope. Okay, well, let's jump right into it, dude. I know the questions are kind
yeah.
of
That's
the
it.
the big bulk of it. So yeah, and like I said, we can kind of talk whatever we want to say afterwards. So,
Cool,
all right.
cool.
What was the first moment you remember kendama stopped being just a toy and became a skill, a discipline, or even a form of expression?
Ooh. Um, I think it was around COVID because, well, if we go back to when I first figured out what a kendama was, when I first saw it for the first time, I used to work at a skate park called Rampworks Skate Park. I'm not sure if you heard of that in
Oh.
Liverpool. It's one of the big. I think it's the biggest in Europe still to this day. Um, Me and
That's
my
dope.
friends used to work there, and one day, like one of them, he's still one of my best friends to this day. He brought a kendama in, and I kind of thought it was a little bit whack at first. Like, what is this? We used to ride scooters. So my brain was just like scooter, scooter, scooter. I didn't really have the capacity for another hobby or another toy or thing like that. And then when COVID hit, a bunch of us, there was maybe 8 or 10 people. We went and stayed at my friend's house. He's called Jake. You probably know him actually. He was at one time sponsored by Sweets. His Instagram handle went by Barbie Kendama.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think yeah. I kind of
You
remember.
recognize
Yeah,
that name, right?
yeah.
So he got really, really good really quick. He was one of my best friends. I've known Jake for over 10 years, and a bunch of us moved into his house during COVID when the country went on lockdown.
Oh wow.
So it's just like this huge house full of friends, like, and we had nothing to do. We couldn't go out, we couldn't ride, we couldn't go to the skate park, and they had the kendama again. And I was like, oh, not this thing, not again. But there was nothing to do. So slowly over like the course of those first few weeks of being locked down, the mindset of everyone in that house went from riding scooters and learning tricks on scooters into, well, let's just see what we can all learn on this kendama.
Mm,
So we
mm.
all got one, we all started playing, and I think that was the moment during those first few weeks when I realized, like, oh, okay, this isn't just like some stupid like toy. This is like actually something that people, you know, can express themselves with, can really push themselves like to learn some really hard tricks. It's when I
Hmm.
started to figure out like that there was a whole community out there of other people doing this overseas and in America and in Japan, figure out the history of it.
That's
And
dope.
yeah, it just went from there really. Just
That's
expanded from there.
that's really cool. Yeah, I think I had a moment where I think it was when I did lighthouse flip. I finally learned like one
Mm.
turn and then like lighthouse flip, and I was like, I'm never gonna
Yeah,
put this
that's it.
down. I was like, yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's so sweet.
the thing with it as well is like it was kind of like accelerated growth because we were
Mm-hmm.
in a house 24 hours a day together, and boys will be boys. Like we were like, oh, I've learned this trick. And then everyone's like, oh, fuck off, I can do a better one, I can do this.
Yeah.
And we were all battling each other. And it was just, the progression was so fast, so quick,
Yeah.
just from like that situation that we were in during that time.
For sure. I definitely feel like I've learned tech for most tricks, like either by like Sindama kit and kind of like homies like that are like, oh yo, go do it this way, or go yo add this thing to it, or like even being at jam, somebody being like, oh yo, you're kind of doing that weird, here watch how I do it, and I'm like, oh, that makes way more sense, like, okay.
For sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And I was gonna say, being in a house with a bunch of people who are all playing kendama too, that's like you just can't get away from it, right? Yeah, you're around it all the time.
No, I mean, we would go out like first thing in the morning, film kendama tricks and play games of Ken for 10, 12 hours a day for like I think that went on for like a good 6 months straight, like
that's incredible.
Every
that's
single day. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, if you had to describe your relationship with kendama using one trick, which trick would it be, and why does that trick represent you?
Oh. Damn, that's a good question.
It is, right?
Let me have a little think about this. I want to give a good answer. I think like maybe Lighthouse, because, and my reason for saying that is it's a long one, but I think in the Lighthouse it's like a bit of an uncomfortable situation, right? Mm-hmm. You can't just land it on the Lighthouse and then let go and just stop thinking about how you need to balance it. Yeah. And I think that's a good metaphor for my mindset towards like my life. I left the UK nearly coming up 3 years this year now. Quit my job. I had a good job. I was a mechanical engineer back home. Had a nice house, nice car. Gave it all up, sold it all, packed my bag, and just wanted to see the world. Flew to Thailand, traveled Southeast Asia for a while, went over and lived in Australia for a while, and then eventually come back to Bangkok, Thailand. So I think during that period, I kind of realized that I am quite good when it comes to uncomfortable situations. Staying calm and trusting in the process. And yeah, maybe that's a philosophical way of answering that question, but
no, that's how we like it. Yeah, we wanted these questions to be kind of deep rooted. And yeah, it should. I think for the most part, we want them to kind of take you a second to kind of like, oh man, okay, let me think. Like, even if you've listened to the podcast, or even if you've heard the questions, to still when we ask the person, for them to be like, I gotta think, because even in this moment, right, it may be different than if I asked you tomorrow, or if I asked you the day after that, or a week from now.
Yeah, definitely. Right? I mean, even now, I'm even thinking like any kendama trick is a good one to explain anyone, because in life, like you can't give up, right? You might fail. You might fail the first time. You might not get the job that you want to get. You might not, something might go wrong. You just gotta pick yourself up and keep going, keep chipping away at that block.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, here, yeah. Speaking of chipping away at the block, every kendama player has a wall, a trick that feels impossible until it suddenly clicks. What trick challenged you the most, and what did overcoming it teach you?
I think I probably have like this thought in my head every time I learn a new trick. I think initially it would have been juggling. I used to see like people juggling who were better than me when I first started, and just kind of write it off. Oh, I'm never going to learn that trick. Kind of that way, but
yeah, I mean, like that. Yeah,
it definitely does. And even now, like, I'm slowly starting to expand on late Ken flips, and they still feel so hard, bro. Like, it's always like that with a new trick. Like, you learn it, you kind of get close, and then you're like, oh well, maybe,
Yeah.
And, yeah. I guess like if I was to go back and tell myself when I first started, it would just be to just enjoy that process, like enjoy that feeling.
Yeah, and I think I kind of agree. For most people, I think juggle it's either really easy because you already know how to juggle, right? Like you're already a juggler, and so it's like, oh, it's just learning the flip, right? That's just the weird part of it, right? Or again, Or again, if you're not a juggler at all, you're like, dude, this feels totally foreign. You're like, this is like nothing else, which is crazy because I used to work a janitor job, sort of like an operations janitor job at a church, and my buddy would always bring oranges, and he'd always bring, like when we were eating dinner or whatever, eating lunch type thing, he would bring two oranges, one for me, one for him. So we would always kind of split them, and that was like a little like celebration type thing. Oh, we're almost there, we're almost done. And so one day he was like, man, you ever try to like juggle, like one hand juggle like this? And he kind of was able to do it a few times, and I was like, whoa! I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, and this is before I played kendama or anything like that. And so yeah, it definitely felt like I was like, I think I could learn how to do this. So I learned how to juggle using oranges.
I mean, I definitely have a similar story like that. Like, when I was still working as an engineer, I had a friend who was a juggler as well. And he would, during our time while we were working and the machine was just running and we didn't really have any tasks to complete, he would pick up a screwdriver, one screwdriver and one roll of electrical tape. and he would be like, here, see if you can like juggle this, and then try to catch the tape onto the screwdriver through the hole.
Yeah.
And that, bro, if anyone has quick access to a screwdriver and some electrical tape, practice. That leveled up my juggling so fast with a kendama. Because the flip of the screwdriver is very similar to a ken.
Yeah.
You know, catching it with that handle tied every time.
Yep.
So funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. The next one is, when you're learning a new trick, what matters more? Like the final make, like making the trick, the process of failure and repetition, or discovering like something new, discovering a new trick?
I think discovering something new is always like that special feeling. Like maybe you figure out a new stall, and then you can apply that stall into 10 other different tricks that you've already learned.
Yeah. And
it expands like that. So that is always like a great feeling. But I think the grind of like that repetition of failing, trying is such a good feeling as well. It doesn't always feel great. Sometimes it feels like, oh, this is like the worst thing ever and I'm never going to be able to do this. But I think like when you land a trick like that's taken you a long time to grind, like that feeling is so sweet only because of the grind. If it was something that you just picked up and did first try, it wouldn't feel as sweet.
Yeah.
So I think that is just as important as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's been times where I've tried a new trick, maybe I get it in like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, I think that was luck, like,
yeah, right.
I don't think I got that because I like got the physics of it, or I got the skill.
Yeah.
It's just, it felt like, okay, let's see if I can do it again, and then it takes me like 2 hours and I get nothing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but the sweetest ones are the ones that take them 2 hour, 3 hour, right?
Yeah.
Like when you tripping and sweat and you finally get it, it's like, yes.
Dude, that's why every once in a while, in my edits, especially when I'm playing outside or something in my backyard, I'll land the trick, and I'll literally just start laughing and just throw it up in the air because I'm just like, yes, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes where I live, I'm quite blessed. I live in like a nice apartment complex building. I have a rooftop swimming pool.
Oh, awesome.
Shared between the other guests. I'm not that rich, but sometimes if I've been grinding for a few hours and like I'm dripping in sweat, I'll literally just land it, switch the camera off, and just flop into the pool, just straight in there. It's the best feeling ever.
That's sick. That's very cool. All right, the next question is, kendama has a balance between precision and creativity. So how do you decide when to master a classic trick and maybe when to then like create your own variation, or like make some kind of variation of it?
Yeah, that's another good question. I think one thing that I've realized like lately during my time playing and connecting with other players online is seeing some of these Japanese guys that, you can really see the time that they've put into playing by their clips and just the way that they play. They can do the simplest tricks like J-sticks, earth turns, cup flow, and the way that they do it is so steezy, so comfortable, so much style. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think that is one of the things that I really admire about them. And I think you can tell that they've put that time in to learn those tricks like perfect. And that's something that I'm trying to focus on a lot at the moment, is like maybe taking a step back. You know, you don't need to learn like the most amount of taps or the most amount of chem flips. Maybe just try to focus on making this trick that you can already do look a little bit better or a little bit more stylish. So I think for me personally at the moment, that is more important for me. But, you know, each to their own. If people want to focus on that next hardest trick, I think that's sick as well.
Yeah, it's a thing in our little groups in Dama Kit that like our Finnish friend Kim, he'll be like, not clean.
Not clean.
Like, yeah, sure, you landed it, but not clean. You know, he's like, that juggle was ugly or whatever. You know, we're like,
yeah. And you kind of need people like that in your life who are just going to be like brutally honest, because I think we're all guilty sometimes of like, kind of, that was a little bit whack, but I'm taking it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You need that friend to be like, nope, do it again.
Honestly, that's why I think Dama Kit works so well, because we have people from not just all around the world, but we have people from all around the U.S. So you have all these different types of personalities. Like you have kind of a little bit of everything. Like people who will like just encourage you, and they're like, dude, that's so sick, you did so good. And then you have Kim who's like, fuck you, do that again. You know, it's like,
he's not gonna beat around the bush.
He's so awesome. Yeah, we love Kim. Kim's great, dude. All right. Sorry. Oh, yeah, this kind of goes into what you were saying earlier, and I love this question. If you could watch the journey of your younger self learning kendama for the first time, what advice would you give them before they attempted their first like big challenge or their first big trick?
Yeah, good one. You know, these questions are really good. You gotta kind of make you think a lot.
Yeah.
I think maybe everyone is guilty of this. I know I am a little bit. That like maybe to tell myself to not compare myself to other people. I think it's very easy now. We live in like the social media age where you can open up Instagram and instantly be hit with like the sickest trick. And maybe this is going back to what we were just talking about. Maybe you've spent like 4 hours grinding a trick and you're super happy with it, and you open up Instagram to go to upload it, and the first clip you see is just someone doing that trick but 10 times harder. And you're like, oh man. But yeah, just I mean, I would, if I could meet myself when I first started now, or first started to really get into kendama, I would just tell him to enjoy the journey, you know, enjoy the time that it takes to learn these new tricks, and remember that any time that you spend trying to learn this trick today, even if you don't get it, even if you don't land it, like you're making that step towards it. You're already on that journey to landing it, and any attempts and tries that you complete this day, they're going to follow you into the next day or the next week, and you know, it's only going to make you better then. So
yeah,
just remembering that, because sometimes I would, you know, it's easy to get frustrated and be like, oh, I'm never going to do this, or you know, I'm getting nowhere near. But
yeah. I think that is kind of the common answer. People saying like, just breathe, slow down, relax. You know, it's okay. You're gonna get there, right? It'll happen. Just keep trying, right? And I have to do this thing for myself where, well, I have a kendama over there, but I literally like, I'll take my kendama in my right hand because I'm right-handed. I'll hold like this and kind of put it down, and then I have to like.
Yeah.
And I have this.
Got a few breaths.
Yeah, I have this picture in my head from when I went skiing a long time ago. Like I think I was in college, maybe, or maybe even in high school. I think, and it was like we were on top of the mountain. We just got off the ski lift, and you look out, and it's just like the most beautiful sunrise, you know. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, it doesn't get better than this, you know. And I still have that picture in my mind. So every once in a while, I kind of go back there to kind of have that like. Okay, a little bit of nirvana. Okay, all right, now I'm ready to like reset, get back to it, you know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think one thing that I've been doing kind of recently that maybe has helped me a little bit as well is I kind of tried to move away from that style of trying to grind one singular trick over and over and over. I kind of tried to have maybe 3, maybe 4 different ideas in my head that that I'm trying at the same time, and maybe try to say like, okay, well, 5 tries of this trick, and then after those 5 tries, move to the next one, and then go back. You know, kind of reset that feeling, because sometimes I think you can spend so long trying to do one trick that you almost start to get worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it feels further away. And then you try a different trick and then come back and it actually, you know, ends up being closer again.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So.
I told my wife a while ago, I was like, she started kind of playing kendama here and there. I was like, you have to have things like certain tricks that I call confidence tricks. Right? It's like a trick that, like, you know, it still may take you a little grind, but like, you know, you can land it. You've landed it before, maybe even several times, but it's a trick that you're like, okay, once I land this, I'm gonna feel better because I landed something, right? And I'm gonna have that like, okay, that was tough, but I got it. Okay, back to this other hard trick, like, yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. Yeah, it does a lot for your brain and just your overall confidence if you like nail something a little bit easier, and then, you know, you got that hype. And then go back to trying what you were trying before.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. All right. Every kendama trick has rhythm, timing, and flow. What do you think separates somebody who can just perform tricks from somebody who truly understands the art of kendama?
It's got to be time, right? It's got to just be that time that they've put in. I mean, it goes. I'm going to repeat myself again now, but those Japanese kids that you see. You can just see that they've put in years and years of playing. That flow and rhythm has come along with the time, and you know that's developed as well with it. Yeah, time, just constant grinding, constant hours. It's like with anything, right? The longer you spend doing it, whether this is with riding a scooter or playing kendama or anything I've done in my life, that the more time and energy I've put into that thing, the more you see the progression.
Yeah. My
the sun's right in my eyes right now.
I'm sorry. My rival D, she talks about it pretty often, where she says, we had this conversation not too long ago, where she was like, you know, it's cool to be able to like land a trick, right? But it's better to kind of be able to land it the right way, right? Is the way she kind of explained it almost. She's again, it kind of goes back to like what I was saying about Kim being like, that wasn't clean, you know. He's like you got to land it clean, right? That's how you really want it to look, right? Like it is one thing to just be able to do the trick, even if you're consistent. But if it looks awkward, people are kind of like, oh, what are you doing? You know, they're like, what is that? You know? Versus you see somebody else do it really, again, like especially with some of the Japanese players, you see them do like juggle the bird so smooth, and you're like, dude, like how did you just did that first try, like you knew exactly where it was gonna be, you know?
Yeah, definitely. There's 2 players in Japan. I'm gonna plug them right now as well, for you to go and check out, on anyone listening as well. There's a guy called on Instagram. Your handle is like BEBE something else, and another guy called AOI Yamuchi. I mean, go search those guys, go see how they do the tricks. These guys are doing really simple concepts, but the way that they do it and make it look is different from any other player right now. That's so sick.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I love again when you can see somebody's like, oh, you got that in the bag. Like you've been doing this trick. Yeah, that's so nice. Yeah. All right, what is a kendama trick you believe says the most about a player's personality, and what does your favorite trick reveal about you?
Can you repeat that again? Sorry, yeah. I'm just trying to move out the sun.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Sorry.
What is a kendama trick you believe says the most about a player's personality, and what does your favorite trick reveal about you?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Favorite trick reveal about me. My favorite trick is stalls. You know, like any sort of stall, like bird, still, axe. I don't know. I'm struggling to think of what it reveals about me, though. When I first started, I had this real hard time, like I said, learning these tricks like juggling and multiple Ken flips and
Mm.
things like that when all of my friends around me were learning those tricks. Um, and I kind of had this tunnel vision of like, I'm just going to do the tricks that I like to do and that
Mm-hmm.
I find enjoyable. So I started to really push like my stall game, and we would have games of Ken where, depending on who won that toss or that Rochambeau, like we any one of us could win because we were so good in completely different aspects of the game. Um, and maybe that describes me in a way that I'm not someone who will just like not learn something that I find fun just for the sake of learning something that everyone else is doing, whether
Mm.
that is cam flips or right now like the goon pinch tricks,
Dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Like I've tried them a couple of times and I just cannot do them.
Yeah.
Cannot do them at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the goon pinches, even all the like flow tricks and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm happy with like a moon circle, or I'm happy with like a spacewalk. That's the most I'll get into. Or every once in a while, again, I can do like a goon juggle maybe type thing, but um, yeah, it's not enjoyable, right? Like there's certain things I'm just like, I'm a drummer. I get timing and rhythm, but I don't get this. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. My
No,
brain doesn't
I
connect.
just cannot get my head around it. I mean, I think that is a good one though, like with people who are heavily invested in the string flow and string tricks, like you can see that in maybe other areas of their life as well. I have a
Mm-hmm.
friend called Oscar who was really good at string tricks. He got really obsessed with just string.
Mm.
And he kind of have that same mindset with anything in life, like whether that was learning a new skill or learning guitar, anything that he was slightly interested by, he was in deep.
Mm.
He was like that type of person.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. All right, we got two more here. All right. Kendama can be a very individual practice, but it also creates communities. What
Mm.
moment with another player or within the Kendama community has stayed with you the most?
Oh, damn. I've got a lot of these. Um, I think what we spoke about when we first started the interview, I think that period in my life will always stick with me heavily.
Mm-hmm.
They were some of the best memories, like with, my best friends since I was young. Um, and I don't think that we'll ever get a chance to do that again. We've all kind of moved on with our lives now, growing up, and so that'll always be a special time in my life. But then I think there's a lot. I mean, after that period of time, I started to get more involved in the kendama community in the UK.
Mm.
I figured out that there was a whole group of kendama players up in Scotland, the Sound Kendama boys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with those guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, they have been really pushing and putting kendama on for the UK scene for many years, way before I ever found out about kendama. Um, so I started to, that's only a maybe 3-4 hour drive from where I was living. So I used to go up there every weekend or a lot of weekends, I should say. And those guys were just so awesome. Like from the first time that I went up and met them, like they just welcomed me like a
Mm.
like a brother, like a best friend. And yeah, it just showed me that you don't have to meet people as long as you have like the shared interest and shared passion with something. Like you can just be instant homies. Um, and then even going beyond that to like present day, we had living in Bangkok. I've made a lot of friends within the yo-yo community,
Yeah.
and we had a yo-yo Thailand regional yo-yo competition a couple of months ago,
Yeah. Okay.
and we actually had the guys from Serial, Johnny and
Mm.
Wen,
Mm-hmm.
the founders of Serial. They came out for the event because we had a small kendama booth
That's
where we
very
could
sick.
teach people about kendama and things like that. And there was a guy from Japan. He's an American guy, but he's living in Japan. He's Broken.
Oh
You
yeah,
heard of Broken?
Austin. Yeah, Austin. That's my buddy, dude.
I don't think it's Austin, but I think his name is Dan.
Oh, is it
You know Dan?
broken saltine or something like that?
Broken Zilla. Zilla.
Oh, okay, okay. No, no, no. It's a different guy. Yeah, Austin
So
has the
maybe
broken.
they're all sort of friends and
Yeah.
homies because I think a lot of them are in the military, right?
Yes, correct.
Stationed in Japan.
Yeah.
So anyway, going like segueing, but this guy like messaged me like, "Yo, I'm coming to Bangkok and wanna meet up with some kendama players." And I was like, "No way! This is like the same weekend that we have this Thailand regional yo-yo competition. It's the same weekend that the cereal guys are coming. Like, you gotta come through." I asked this guy to bring me a kendama from a kendama shop in Japan.
Yeah, sure.
I said like, "I've got the money here for you. Like, want to buy it from you." We talked online for a while. Like, just became quite good friends.
That's cool.
This guy comes with a bag, Mugen Muso on the bag, brand new Mugen Muso lead in the silver colorway, which I ordered,
Yeah.
and then also the red Tama. The Tama from the try to think what the event was. The Taiwan Kendama Open.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the red with the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the bag.
That's
And it's like, "Here you go, bro." I'm like, "Oh, here's your money." He's like, "No, cannot take it." Bro, like things like this, like within the kendama, I've never had that sort of interaction with people outside of the kendama community. Like this guy, like just from the kindness of his heart, just wanted to gift me something like this, just
Yeah.
because we talked online for a while and became homies, and I helped him out while he was here in Bangkok, and it's just such a special community. I think such a special feeling to be able to make friends with someone who you've never met in your life, is from a completely different part of the world than you, and you just geek out over kendama.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've both had that kind of happen to me, and I've definitely had moments where I've kind of done that to people as well. Like our friend
Mm.
in Sandamakit, UK, we call him UK Ryan because he doesn't like us calling him
UK Ryan.
Elder Ryan. Because he's just older than most of us. He's like in his 40s, so he's older than most of us. And so UK Ryan, and one time we all kind of chipped in. A bunch of us in America chipped in and put like I put in like a hand turn and like an FC, like a Sulab Tama, and like a bunch of people put in a bunch of other like newer shapes and newer Tamas and newer paints and stuff. Because he had like a bunch of stuff, yeah, from like 2020 or like 2022 maybe. So he was playing with like older shapes, older paints and stuff. And he still rips, which is so funny because you're like, dude, you're landing these tricks on like 2020 sticky. You're like, what? Like you don't even have anti-skid or whatever. Like you don't even have any, like Rhino. You have none of this, and he's still would just rip tricks. And so we all kind of chipped in, and we sent him this like big box, dude, of like a bunch of stuff. And I don't know, if you go watch the video, his handle's Dama Slamma.
Amazon, yeah, I'm aware of him.
Yeah. If you go watch the video where he opened the box, he literally was like crying. He's like streaming tears. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna open this box now." It's like you have that moment where you're like, "Oh wow, yeah, this really doesn't happen like in other parts of the world."
It doesn't.
Like this. Like it's like there's not really many other communities where people do just hand things off like that. And similarly, again, I mean, I do giveaways like once a month for whatever hand turns all the way down to like FC winter Tamas, like sweet stuff, grain theory stuff. I've done cereal, and most of it's just stuff that I have or stuff that I've bought and been like, oh, this would be like a good giveaway thing. Like I think this would be like a cool little gift, right? Type thing. All the way to like I have two friends that are really good. Shout out Triple Bevel. They know who they are. Triple Bevel. It's me and two other friends, and they've always been really insightful for me, especially when I get in hot water with like a bad meme or something. You know, they've always been there to kind of help me and give me good advice and be like, just think about it this way. Don't let this get to you. Like, like take a day or two to kind of like let it settle and see how you really feel. And so for them, I've given them a couple Kens and other little gifts and stuff, like a couple hand turned Kens that I've made and like other little things that I'm like, you deserve this. I'm like I really appreciate you. I want to give you this because I love you. So yeah, I think it's definitely really important for sure with the community.
It's an amazing feeling, right? To be able to give someone something, like even with the weekly kendama club that I'm starting to run here in Bangkok. Like we have people come through who they don't even know that it's a kendama club. They just come to the cafe for a coffee and find themselves interested in it. And the feeling that it gives you to be able to like have that experience of teaching someone the first big cup or the first spike, and then also being able to send them on their way with a kendama.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling is so sick. I've done it so many times here now, and it never loses its spark.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, people are always kind of so surprised too. I feel like where they're like, I can just have this. You're like, yeah, dude, I'm telling you to take it.
Yeah.
Like, this is yours.
Yeah, like, you don't want some money for it? I'm like, no.
No, not really. Yeah.
Dan didn't want any money from me for the fresh Mugen. That's what always comes into my head. I'm like, I can't take money off this, and then he not take money from me.
Yeah, and I definitely try and keep like a one or two in my car. So yeah, if I'm out playing somewhere, or like there's a big town square kind of near where I live, like where I grew up, and that's where like I'm from Georgia in America, and so like that's where we all kind of meet usually to kind of like. It's just a good area to hang out. There's like breweries and food and like it's kind of a bunch of stuff there, and so I always usually have one or two on me, and so people will come up and be like, oh, what is this thing? Oh, and then yeah, you kind of get them their first spike, and you're like, okay, you're like pretty interested, like you committed to doing this thing, like what, like go ahead and have that one, because you're like, I kind of make them play with the one that I plan on giving them, type things. You're like, yeah, dude, it's yours. Go ahead, leave. You're like, go about your day. Like, yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
All right, last question. When you imagine the future of kendama, what trick, style, or movement do you hope the next generations of players will create that nobody has seen before? Or I even say, like, if you want them to kind of even expand upon it more,
Okay. I think one thing I will say is that with kendama right now, like, I really want the whole community to be behind this idea of we need to get out of the people who maybe are the hardcore players, like the people who are already super invested in it. We need to try to reach more of just the general population, like we call them normies, maybe.
The normies,
with no
the randos, 100%.
I don't think that we can connect with those people and pull them into kendama with like this mindset of, Takuya 100 taps is crazy, right? It's insane. It's so awesome.
It's absurd.
But for the average person, like, they're gonna see that and it doesn't pull them in, doesn't get them.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out a way that we can do that, because kendama is for everyone, right? Kendama is not just for the pros. Kendama is not just for boys. It's not just for girls. It's not just for young people. Kendama can be for old people as well. I play more with older people in Thailand because a lot of them are retired. A lot of them have a lot of free time, and a lot of them believe in like this mindset of, their life kind of starts when they retire.
Sure.
A lot of them pick up extra hobbies like running, walking, calisthenics. And when I go to the park and play kendama, the amount of interest I have from the older generation here, who want to try it and want to learn about it and know what it is, and we need to figure out a way to get those people in.
Yeah.
And I don't have the answer for that. Maybe we need some of the big companies like Sweets or Chrome or people like that to partner with. If anyone wants to hit the line, I'm all ears. I I've got 100% time to like do any sort of projects and things like that in Thailand and try to grow it here because, bro, like I've lived in a few countries now, and you know we talk all the time about like the boom in America, in Hawaii, in Romania, in Japan, obviously. But why not Thailand? Like why not? We have like there's so many young people here and old people, like I just said, and you know this is a toy that a lot of these people have never seen a day in their life, and they're so interested in it whenever they do see it. And I'm the only person here that's trying to push this toy.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anyone wants to try to help out with that, then I'll just leave that there.
Yeah, well, and you know, I was gonna say, so it's funny you say that because I've said something very similar before, and I kind of argue the point that it does take bigger companies sponsoring and providing damas to either give out or holding competitions, you know, even maybe money for other competitions, right? Like to boost those things. But I also think it does take people like you and me who are going to be willing to be the outreach, right? Like this is the same thing that I've said with like the quote unquote like homelessness or like homeless populations right around the world. You go like, yeah, but if nobody's willing to help them, they're not all of a sudden just going to be able to get a house, get a job, it doesn't happen that way, right? It takes money and somebody willing to deal with those people or willing to help those people, right? I think it's very much so the same thing. It takes somebody like us being willing to be like, yeah, I'll be the face of this podcast, or I'll be the face of this meme page or this community, this jam session, this whatever, right? And then on top of that, it takes the extra little bit of like, you know, like again, I mean, again, I spend my money on wood and turning tools and machines and stuff, right, to be able to turn these things and be able to just give them away because, like, you know, for the longest time, I didn't actually want to sell my Kens. I wanted them to be, like, prizes or, gifts to people who, like, deserved it, right? Like, somebody who I was like, man, I really respect you. I really appreciate you. This is, you deserve this. You should have this. Versus, like, again, selling it kind of feels icky, right? You know, you're like, I'm not really a salesman. I know business, but I'm not really like, you need this. Oh, you need this. You know, this is the one you need, right? Like, I mean, and so it felt like, again, if I'm making something special and it's taking me, you know, especially with splices, like maybe 3 to 4 hours to cut, glue, and then go turn it, you know, et cetera, and go buy the wood and all these different things, it felt like, man, this should be a gift. This should be something that I kind of like give to somebody who, either deserves it or really, really wants it, really, really like, you know, won it in a competition or something. And I've found that like, even when I send hand turned Kens to like competitions and stuff, sometimes they're like, hey, we're gonna give these to like the amateur and like advanced people or something, because like pros like either can't play it because it's not their company, or they're just gonna sell it because they're not gonna play it, you know. And I'm like that actually makes more sense. I would rather it go to like beginner, intermediate, advanced, or amateur, or you know, the amateur people, because they're like, I've had several people who have won a Ken from me, like Harrison, I think his last name is Mancini, I think is his last name. He won one in a competition. I can't remember if it was Battle at the Border or NACO. I can't remember. Anyways, he won one though, and then like months and months later, we were randomly talking. He was like, "Dude, by the way, I have one of your Kens." You know, he was like so hyped. He was like, "Dude, let me go get it." You know, like, dude, I appreciate it. I'm like, get some clips. I know people don't want to play them because they're hand turned, and they're like, "Oh, it's so special. Like, I don't want to break it or whatever." But I'm like, dude, it's like, do what you want with it. That's fine. I'm not gonna be mad at you, but like, it's meant to be played. You know, I'm like, and I made it so you'll break it, right? Or I made it so you'll play with it. You know. Yeah.
I'm a big believer in like destroy all damas.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend here who he owned the cafe where we are holding the Kendama Club every Wednesday, so tomorrow as well. And he's super into it. He's only 2 months in. Last week he learned his first spike, juggle to spike.
That's sick.
Like two months in, I'm like, that's pretty sick. I don't think I learned juggle spike until like after a year.
Yeah.
But anyway, he is a collector by it at heart. Like he collect like vintage watches and vintage clothing and yo-yos, and he just started to figure out, or I should say, I put him on to Mugen.
Oh yeah.
So I went last week, and he was like, "Oh, let me show you this, like brand new Mugen Ken. You know, the one with like the new one that they just released,
Oh
like
yeah,
with
the Pixel, I think it is.
Wenge. Yeah, it's like the Pixel, like Ken only.
That's sick.
You buy that, you buy like 3 other different Mugens. I'm like, get it out, shred it. He's like,
Nah.
no. It's like sitting on the shelf, all pretty looking. I'm like, every time I go in there now, every week, I'm like, fuck, I just want to shred that thing.
Let me take that thing down,
It's
buddy.
shredded. But as we go back to like that question as well, I did have another like point that I wanted to make about like what I want to see, and I do think that like the style that Yasu is like trying to bring in with like with the freestyle and like merging the freestyle with some sort of dance or expression that isn't just about the kendama itself. You know, I think that is really sick and something that, you know, I would like to see other people expand on as well. And you know, maybe it doesn't have to be just dancing. Maybe it can be some other form of juggling. Like, big shout out to, I don't know if he's going to listen to this, but there's a guy in Scotland called Rob. And he'll know who he is, and everyone will know who I'm talking about if they listen to this. But Rob used to place very highly at a lot of the UK events, like Scotland Kendama Open, British Kendama Open. And I remember one of my earliest memories of watching someone do a freestyle run on a kendama. Well, Rob had like a frisbee ring, like with a hole in the center, and he took it on the stage with him during his freestyle run, and was like doing tricks through the hoop of the frisbee ring, and like bringing it back and taking it to and fro each side, and
that's crazy.
That was just so sick. Like, you don't really see people messing around with like a third object.
Yeah, making it unique.
Yeah, so I think we need some more of that for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think I agree with the like the flow of like dancing and stuff too, because that definitely feels like, again, kind of going back to what my rival D would say all the time. She's like, yeah, it's like, it is like art, right? Like, you're watching somebody perform, right? Like, it's not just
for sure.
Yeah, right. It's not just like landing the trick, right? It's like, yeah, that's great, you know, but you look rigid, right? Or like that didn't look natural, right? It's like when you have that kind of natural flow, and like I said, I haven't released it yet, but in the last podcast I recorded, we were talking about how we're like, yeah, dude, Yasu will go for go for a 6-tap, but then like mess up the 3rd tap and save it on the 4th, and you're like, dude, wait. You're like, wait, what? You're like, how did you do that? You know, like, or again, it does like a double rotation. He's like, okay, I'm not doing 6. I'm now gonna juggle out, or I'm gonna do like my little anchor thing, or like, you know, yeah, you definitely see.
He's so good at like making that save or making like that adjustment so that he messes up. Like, as a player, I think a lot of people can see like, oh, he was going for this and didn't do it, but he does it in a way where he doesn't have to reset. He can just go straight into the next thing, or you know. And with Yasu, like people who aren't as into kendama as like everyone else, but have maybe seen the odd videos here and there, like they know him. Oh, is that guy that does the dancing, right? Yeah. That's that guy that do like the dancing, and that is what he's known as, and that's sick. And we need more of that for like other people as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it doesn't just have to be hip hop dancing like he's doing. Like, people could do their own thing, get a bit of salsa dancing going.
I'd love to see some line dancing, dude. Some square dancing, something crazy.
I mean, there's like Irish tap dancing. There's all this sort of crazy stuff.
I was gonna say, you really can take it kind of however you want. And again, like, especially if you're good enough to be able to kind of perform like that, it can definitely be something where you're like, oh, wow, I never really thought about it like that. Like, I never thought I'd see this, right? You know? Yeah. I think there's gonna be kind of like I've joked on the page, but like, yeah, there definitely was a boom in Romania, kind of surged over in Japan and in Hawaii now. I think again, it takes a big maybe not even one big company, but like multiple companies really investing. Like you see Seoul out in Hawaii, right? And you can tell they're just like
Mm.
I mean, I know they're just out there throwing damas to people. I know Chad went out there with probably a box of like 1,000 kendamas, and he's just like, he's
Yeah.
like, get him out there, right? Then that not only helps them sell more kendamas and get more business, which is good for them, but ultimately that does get more kendamas in the hands of people who are going to play
Yeah.
or give them away or whatever, right? And I think,
That's what I need. That's what I need here.
yeah, well, and that
Need to get it into
I
schools.
was just gonna say that's the thing is that like with more money that kind of does hopefully encourage more community, more marketing,
Yeah.
more promotion, and that's kind of the thing that I always called for was like, if you're gonna be I say a big kendama company, but like if you're gonna be a worldwide international name, and everybody around you have. Sweets Kendama France, Sweets Kendama Europe, Sweets Kendama,
Hmm.
Japan, Sweets Kendama Romania, Sweets, it's like you're or Chrome Romania, Chrome Japan, Chrome France, Chrome. You have these companies everywhere. I do think they have kind of a responsibility to to build those communities or again kind of support those communities because again as much as like it's great for them to have money and stuff and that's the point of the business, right? It's like there's also this side of kendama where we're like, yeah, it's not just money though, right? Like you can't just
Yeah.
be money because
Hmm.
if you're just doing this for money, then this is just a business. You don't actually care about this thing. You don't actually care about the community. You don't care about the toy, right? It's just money for you. So I think
Yeah.
again I call for them to kind of like, hey, look, I'm one guy, right? It's just me. Like I've had people message me and be like, "Hey, how are y'all doing? Like you guys are so cool." And I'm like, "Dude, it's just me." I'm like, there's no you guys,
Yeah.
I'm like again like it's like yeah, there's nobody else doing this. It's just me. And especially when I was anonymous, yeah, I had a lot of people being like, "Oh, this has got to be multiple people." I'm like, you know,
Yep. Nope. Just me.
nope, just me. It's like I know it seems crazy
Yep.
that one guy is making all these memes and making all these videos and like giving stuff away and just yeah tossing things out, but like yeah, it like I mean you can even see up here like I just have stuff like those are kind of just like random pieces sitting up. These are all kind of like collector stuff. The stuff down here is maybe a little bit more play and like collection stuff. So like yeah, I feel like every once in a while I'm like, man, I have so much stuff, I need to like get rid of some, or like again like I have that winter giveaway I'm doing. I know I'm kind of planning on doing another FC giveaway next month too, so like yeah, it just I think if we can get bigger companies to relinquish uh, some of that money and some of the time and energy and stuff, that is what's going to make the next generation of kendama players,
Yeah.
right? And I think
Sure.
similarly we need I kind of joke about this, but like influencers, right? Like we need people who are going to be like Miguel or ET or like any of these people that you see with like tens of thousands of followers. You're like, yeah, dude, you're the face of kendama. Literally, you are the face of
Yeah.
kendama, right? Like when somebody random sees one of your clips on TikTok, like they don't know Miguel, right? They know erratic squirrel, right? Or like you know what I mean? Or like they may not even know like Edwin's name, but they're like, oh yeah, the dude that's playing Switch. Oh yeah, him.
Yeah.
Like they know that person. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna uh, build up for more communities and more people joining. And yeah, like you said again, we need the normies. We need random people who are just gonna be like, oh, okay, I don't have to be Takuya and do 100 tap, or I don't even have to be Yasu and like dance and do crazy tricks and freestyle, right? It's just I want to have my own style, my own personality, my own flow with this, and kind of learn my own tricks and just have fun with it, right? Like I think that is really important. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. I think even like some of my friends who are not kendama players, but I live with and I see a lot, and like I try to get them into kendama. They all have one, because I think even just being able to escape the phone or the TV
Mm-hmm.
or something like that for even just 10, 15 minutes a day, it's a big can be a big thing for someone who maybe would just spend that time doom scrolling or doing something unproductive. And that's where it starts, right? That's where it started for me. It was just like something that I would pick up for 15 minutes, and then eventually, slowly, it started to creep in, and I would see progress, and I would find myself picking up more, and that's how we capture the mass of people, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And I think your point about like the shelf and the giveaways, I think it's awesome that you do that, but yeah, like we're saying, like those giveaways and those like chances to gift someone with a kendama or a tama or a ken, like I personally don't believe that should be coming from your own personal collection. It's great that you're doing that. It's awesome, but yeah, like we're saying, like surely some of these companies can put a little bit more in so people can do that without it coming from their own pocket.
And I know they definitely do. Obviously, again, we do see them supporting even smaller competitions like Rose City Kendama. My friend Sammy's running that. Tower Cup, the Florida Regional Kendama, I think is what it was called. Like a bunch of, even like the ATLO Atlanta Open, right? It's like stuff like that where you see, Sweets and Chrome and Question and all these different kind of kendama companies, growing and supporting things, and that's awesome. And I've noticed, this is me giving some behind the curtain insight a little bit, but it's 100% taken me, I'm going to use a term or a phrase here, like growing a little bit of balls and being like, hey, Grain Theory, can I have a kendama to give away? Hey, Cereal, I love you guys. Can I have an Ascent too or something, to give away or whatever? And they're usually like, oh, dude, yeah, sure. Like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, or even sometimes, again, I'll be like, hey, I'll make you guys like 10 memes, and like I'll post them and tag you or whatever if I can just have a kendama to give away. And they're like, sure, yeah, let's do it. Like Grain Theory, I did the, I think it was the NACO announcement. I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago with them. And I was like, hey, I'll make a bunch of memes for you guys if I can have a kendama to give away. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. All right, fuck it, let's do it. I was like, okay, this is what I'm here for. Like if this is what it takes, like I can make memes. You guys have kendamas and people love your kendamas, so like I want to give one away. And same with Cereal. They've sponsored a couple things for me too. They're really cool guys. Yeah,
they're awesome guys. Really cool. They're really like down to help out in any way that they can.
Yeah.
Really nice guys.
Yeah, and every time I've talked
but that's it, right? Is sometimes all it takes is just like knocking on that door and
exactly
putting yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah, and I've again kind of here and there gotten myself in hot water, so I try to not be too in their face about it or too like upfront about it, but I'm just like, hey, listen, I've been doing these giveaways for 3 years or whatever. I'm like, please help me. I'm like, I can't keep spending money on FC to just give away, right? Like, or whatever, Gecko or Ken's or it's just you realize you're like that little bit does help. That like them doing something is really big for us. And like, I even got a message this morning from a guy who does some woodwork stuff, and he wants to send me some wood to like turn into a Ken, and he was like, oh man, he's like, dude, thank you for being so awesome, like thank you for being so dope. And I'm like, I was just answering questions, I didn't even do anything, but he's just like, dude, you've been so nice to me. And I'm like getting those messages I think does mean so much to me sometimes. Like randomly people will just message me and be like, dude, I really appreciate you. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking cry, I'm at work, bro. I'm like, come on.
I think we do have a special thing though as a community. The kendama community has like this very special and unique feeling where you can message like your favorite player, your favorite pro. I've done it myself. Like maybe ask for a tip on a trick, like, hey bro, I'm having a hard time with this. I see that you're really good at them. And I don't know any other hobby or sport that I've ever done where I've felt like I could message a pro or a company like that and have such a nice and detailed and ready to help response from that person. You don't get that a lot. Like in some of these other sports like skating or things like that. Like these people are consider themselves celebrities, and you don't really get that in kendama, which is nice. It's something that we need to keep as well. It's something that we can't let like fade away and slowly get worse over time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because it is special. Such a nice feeling.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna kind of out myself here a little bit, but I did today message a pro. He's technically a pro, and I was like, "Hey, bro," I was like, "Would you be down to do an interview? Like, I've never really seen you interviewed anywhere, you know." And again, I kind of told myself, I'm like, I don't want to really interview pros. I want to interview like regular people, just people we can relate to. But I think this is, I'm not going to give it away, but I think this is a person that a lot of people will relate to, because I think there's somebody that has kind of come up in the ranks and has kind of proven themselves, right? And although they do have their own pro model, I don't think most people look at them and think like Yasu, or think like Takuya, or think like Miguel, or like or like even like Casey, or again like the Locked guys, or like, you know, anybody like that. I don't think they think of themselves like that, and so I'm really excited to get to interview him. But I will give away, he's at least in Europe.
Yeah, you're giving away too much. You've already ruled out.
I will say he's in Europe, so I had to kind of be like, hey, bro, can you interview on a Sunday at like 1 p.m. my time? Because it's like 7 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead or something like that. You know, he's like, yeah, bro, let's do it. I'm like, oh my God, like that was so quick, you know? I was like, you're so nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was really cool. So, and again, kind of having Sindama behind me to kind of help with stuff. Like, again, my friend UK Ryan does a lot of YouTube stuff. So when I was like setting up the YouTube and like setting up our first podcast, yeah, he was a big help. He was kind of like, oh, dude, do this, make it unlisted, and then just like send us the link so we can watch it or whatever, you know, so we can maybe review it before everyone kind of gets it. And I was like, yeah, let's do that, you know, let's do some stuff like that. It's definitely huge. Yeah, again, going back to like the community thing, it's like it's helped a lot. Not only just having Sindamikit to kind of like push you to do new tricks, but yeah, even with like the meme page, sometimes, you know, I have those moments where I'm like, I think I want to stop, you know, and they're always like, dude, what are you talking about? You can't stop. What do you mean, dude? Like, come on, keep going. Like, yeah.
Your memes of the Hawaii Kendama Club and the whole AI, that shit cracked me up so bad. Those guys are just trying to have a jam.
Listen. Admittedly, I made much worse memes. I made way more offensive, much worse for both sides. To be honest, for both sides of that. And again, in my one of my group chats, my friends were like, "You can't post that." I was like, I mean, I get it. They're like, yeah, dude, no one else is gonna get it. No one else is gonna be okay with this. I was like, I understand. I get it. I'm legitimately not trying to like hurt people's feelings. I don't want to bully anybody. That's not the point. So, but it's really nice. Again, when you.
I think though it does a good service of like reminding people like it's not that serious.
Yes.
Like, we're just playing Katana.
Yes.
Like, no need to bash people because of like AI or whatever the thing is. Like, you know, just have fun.
Yeah.
Play Kendama.
Yeah, and that like, even again, kind of when I do post one of those memes that gets me in trouble or something, or like people don't like it. Yeah, again, my friends are kind of there to be like, yeah, you know, you probably shouldn't have done that, but like, you know, like, what are you gonna do now? You're just gonna quit? Like, really? You know, or you know, they're kind of like, dude, you like, you know, just let it settle down. It'll be okay. Post your meme tomorrow. It'll be fine. You'll be right back to it. And like, again, if people are gonna take it that serious, like, maybe it's not your issue, right? Maybe there's something going on with them, or maybe they're having a bad day or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and I do chalk it up to that pretty often, where I'm like, yeah, listen, sometimes two people have a bad day at the same time, right? And then you argue, and then you're like, oh man, I had a bad day yesterday. And you're like, me too. You know, you're like, oh, okay, so we can be friends. We're like, it's okay to be cool. Like, yeah, it definitely happens like that a lot. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, dude. All right. I did want to bring that up too. I just didn't know how to flow into it or whatever. But yeah, dude, we talked about the viral video that you had. You want to talk a little bit more about that interaction?
Yeah, that was so funny. So that was like maybe 2 months ago now. I was just like playing kendama downstairs where I live in the complex, and this guy just walks past, like old Asian grandpa, like just gives me a look. Like at first I thought he was gonna like ask me to leave, like kick me out. He looked so mad. And then, he kind of obviously have the language barrier there, but he asks me like, what is it? How do I do it? And he just like grabs that thing. I'm sure people may have seen the video. It's on like 26 million views on Instagram right now.
That's sick.
Which is just absolutely crazy. And yeah, just lands that first try, like just lands it, passes it back to me and walks away, just carries on with his day. And this is like what I was talking about earlier with like trying to captivate the older generation, is like the amount of joy that this guy had on his face, like when he did that and we had that interaction. So special, bro. Like I like to think that stayed with him, that feeling, for the rest of the day, and just like put him in a great mood. And yeah, that video, like before I posted that video, I think I had maybe 100 followers, 105 followers, and now I think I'm on nearly 4,500.
That's awesome.
Which is just absolutely crazy. I mean, most of these people who follow me probably, maybe they regret it, maybe they're going to unfollow me when they realize that all I post is like this wooden toy. But yeah, hopefully maybe some of those people out of those 4,000 are going to wonder about kendama and maybe pick it up for themselves. I've had so many messages off random people being like, oh, where do I buy one of these? Like, what is it? I tried to get back to them all and spread kendama that way as well.
Yeah, dude, I've had those interactions in person, and people are like, how do I spell it? I'm like, give me your phone. just give me your phone. Let me type this in for you real quick, and I'll pull up like two or three.
Even people like who I meet in the street when I'm playing, and they ask me like what it is, and they're like, oh, I saw this on Instagram. Like I saw a video of a guy like teaching an old guy how to do it. I'm like, that's me, bro.
That was me. And you pull it up, like, hey, that's my page.
So funny. It's actually like pretty like hard to comprehend the scale of 26 million people.
Yeah, that really
is a lot.
Yeah, that's a metric fuck ton of people. That's a lot. Okay, and you want to shout out some homies too? Some of your homies back home. Some of your homies where you're at?
For sure. So I mean, big shout out to Jake Barbie Kendama. First and foremost, he's the guy that got me into kendama, got me hooked. Shout out to the Dama in the Pool gang. That is our little crew that we had back in Liverpool. Oscar, Danny, Mali, you boys know who you are if you're listening. Shout out to all the European homies. And yeah, big shout out to anyone else I've met along the way, and excited to meet you all again in the future, wherever it may be in the world.
That's sick. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's been a lot of people that I've like connected with randomly, and and certain people that are even kind of here local, but then all of a sudden I see them 1 or 2 times and then I never see them again. I'm like, where did you go? What happened? Yeah, or again, I move away or whatever. Or I haven't been going to jams lately because I've been too busy doing life stuff and stuff like this and whatnot, and so I don't always get to go to jams. But I still have the GA Dama family that every once in a while they're like, hey bro, you still playing Dama? I'm like, yeah, I'm here. You see the memes, like you see me randomly posting things, and yeah, it definitely feels again like when you have those certain people that you do connect with at jams. You're like, oh, we'll always be friends. Like I'm never not going to be cool with you. Yeah.
I have these friends, like especially these guys that I'm talking about from Liverpool. Like they know who they are, and they might not play kendama as much as we did when I lived there. But it's just that feeling of knowing that if we ever do see each other again, I go for a trip back home, it's going to be like nothing has changed, right? Like just going to be like that same day, same energy, same vibes with the homies, and that's what's so good about kendama is like you can have these connections from every area of the world. You don't need to have any prior like relationship. You just have to have this relationship over this wooden toy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Instant homies,
Yeah,
which is great.
that's how Sindama Kid definitely feels. Where I got added to a group, and then long story short, we ended up having a mutiny, and then we made our own little group off of that group, and it was like, okay, this kind of makes sense for us to kind of like be friends and whatever. And so we were like, and yeah, and ever since then we've kind of had some people come in and come out, and some people who just weren't really active, and we're like, okay, you know, like I'm not mad at you, but like we want active
Mhm.
people who are gonna kind of be like part of the community or whatever. And we keep kind of growing and finding new people that are like, hey, can I be a part of this? And we're like, okay, yeah, like if everyone's kind of in
Yeah,
agreement, like sure, why not? Yeah, let's do it, you know. Um, so yeah, we've gotten a bunch of European people. I keep saying we need to get some Asian swag, dude. We need some Asian players and some Dama kit. I'm like, I want a real ripper who just wants to be part of the crew. Like, that'd be super
I'm
fun.
sure they're out there. I'm
Yeah,
sure they're listening.
yeah. And we've got a couple people kind of in mind that we've been like kind of eyeing. We're like, I see you playing and I see you liking our stuff. You know. Yeah, yeah. Well, dude, again, really
That's
good to
awesome.
talk to you, dude. I appreciate you.
Yeah, big shout out to yourself as well. Sorry, I've got a really dry throat, but yeah, big shout out to yourself. Huge service to the community doing these, and yeah, big up.
I'm super happy. It's again the reception was really good on the first one, and so I know yeah, even like within Sandamakit, they've all been like, dude, you're really good at interviewing. Dude, you have like the perfect personality for this. Dude, you did really good. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. like
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just kind of fun and silly with it. Again, I try not to take it too seriously, but at the same time, I love the questions. Like UK
Yeah,
again, I keep bringing them up, but yeah, UK Ryan was the one who came up with the questions and really helped me a lot, kind of figuring out like, okay, what type of format, how long should it be? Like, we don't want it to be too long, but like I also don't want
mhm,
to do any editing, right? Like I kind of want to just throw it up long form, have a long conversation, kind of wherever it
yeah,
goes, whatever we do, like let's talk, you know? Like I'm not mad at that. So um yeah, I appreciate my family and my wife for sure also being pretty understanding and being like, okay, you've got an interview this day, all right, you know, I'll put the kids to bed, or like, okay, I'll do their bath, or like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm like, okay, honey, I love you so much, be back in an hour or whatever, you know.
yeah. Just gonna nerd out on some kendama while
Yeah.
she deals with life.
You know, she's like knitting and hanging out by herself, and she, I mean, she's literally in like the next room, so I'm sure she's like, okay, is he done yet? Like, you know, she sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I could just go all night talking if I didn't have other responsibilities.
That's so
Dude,
fun.
all right, dude. Well, sick.
Yeah,
Yes, good talking to you. Thank you again, dude.
thank you, bro.